All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Mainly Hoops podcast. We're continuing on with the Big Ten, any transfer portal news for this conference. We're kicking it off with the Ohio State Buckeyes today. Ohio State only had a couple transfers. We're going to let Marcus take it away on these guys. Do they fit well? Who's the better transfer? Marcus, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, they brought in four guys? Gabe Cups from Indiana, Cody's favorite player. Brandon Noel coming over from Wright State, averaged 19 last year, 8 boards. Shot it pretty efficiently. Christoph Tilley coming over from Santa Clara, and then Josh Ojanwuna coming from Baylor. Ojanwuna, he had the season-ending injury last year at Baylor. So we'll see kind of how he fits in coming off that. I would say that it's Tilley who's probably the best get for them. Noel obviously showed he could score the ball at Wright State, but it's going to be different. And they're not going to probably ask him to do that, with this team, with Bruce Thornton, with Devin Royal, John Mobley. They've got guys that can put the ball in the bucket. Noel maybe can knock down some threes. Last year, shot at 36% on 106 attempts. So if he can, be a floor spacer and knock down some shots playing off of Thornton and Mobley, I think that'd be good. But everything's going to run through Thornton and Mobley. I think Tilley is probably the best get for them, just, giving them some size in the front court that's actually competent, right? I mean, Sean Stewart gone, Bradshaw gone. Now they've got a 7-footer coming in from Santa Clara that averaged, 12 and a half and 5, on just about 20 minutes a game, right around a block, a couple assists. So I think he will ultimately, be their best get in the portal. I think he just kind of fits playing off of those guards the best. And I think that they got some much needed, better size from what they've had in years past.
Cody, which one of these transfers do you think fit the Buckeyes the best?
Yeah, I would agree. I would say it's Christoph Tilley. I think he's the best talent out of what they got. I mean, as a whole, I don't think they addressed really the areas that they needed to address. I don't really think they needed to attack more offensive-minded bigs. I think they should have attacked more like two-way bigs with like some rim protection skills and better rebounding skills than guys like Noel and Tilley have. They're more, they were like offensive hubs for their teams, their respective teams at Santa Clara and Wright State. So, and I kind of struggle to see where Noel fits in like long-term as like an off-ball role player, like outside of the floor spacing, which is fine. Like he's not really much of a movement shooter. Like it shoots it off the catch fine when he's stationary, but I just kind of struggle to see where he's going to fit within, really on both ends of the floor. But yeah, I definitely think Tilley is the best get. I think he's going to be really valuable on this team in pick and roll as a roll man and in post up and a little bit on the offensive glass. He's had a 9% career offensive rebound rate, so he'll be able to provide some value in that area. Tilley, he's going to be really good in short roll. I mean, he's really mobile for being a 7-footer. So, and he has a ton of skill. He has touch with both hands, inside the 6 to 8 foot range. And he has a little bit of floor spacing in his game as well. He can be a pick and pop man. He can operate and dribble handoffs as well. So I do think he's going to be someone that they can play through a little bit just to get Thornton and Mobley off the ball at times. I don't love how he fits in that much defensively. I don't think he's all that physical, even though, he's a 7-footer. He's going to provide some rim protection, but I think he could be a little bit overmatched physically at times against, other Big Ten centers. So, but overall, I would definitely say Tilley is the best get just because of his offensive skill.
Marcus, are there any other transfers that stand out to you besides Tilley? He talks a little bit about all of them, but
yeah, Ojanwuna, I think can be okay. And what did he play? 23 games last year, averaged 7 and 6. He's another big body. Don't really love him though. I mean, we saw kind of Baylor's struggles as he was playing for them, particularly on the defensive end as well, and he doesn't provide any floor spacing offensively. So don't necessarily love him. But no, and then Gabe Cupps, I don't really have anything to say either, other than what he's going back home. He's from Columbus or near Columbus. I mean, that's really the only thing worthy of noting, probably.
Cody, how about you? Are you a big Gabe Cup fan, or what are your thoughts?
No, I wouldn't say I am really, but I mean, he's just going back home, basically what Marcus said. I think he could have gone somewhere in the mid-major ranks and had some success, but he's going to be mostly just a depth piece here, probably playing a pretty similar role to what he did at Indiana, just kind of playing spot minutes, 7-8 minutes a game. But if Ojongwun is healthy, I think he's going to be able to play somewhat of a role. I'm not sure if he's going to be ready for the season opener or not. Like, that knee injury was pretty nasty. I mean, I don't know exactly what happened. I know there was ACL and a couple other things mixed in there for Ojongwun, but he's going to provide some rim protection when he's healthy. He's going to be able to get on the glass a little bit. But I mean, he's obviously not like a needle mover, like game-changing, like defensive anchor for a team. But I think just with what I was talking about earlier, with I think the lack of defensive skills from Tilly and Noel, I think Ojongwun is going to have to play somewhat of a role. I think he's going to have to play 15, 20 minutes a game when like guys like Noel and Tilly go to the bench. So, but it depends on if he's going to be healthy or not. So we'll see.
Do we think this team got better or worse from the season? Marcus, we'll go with you.
I don't know. I mean, I think they're going to be pretty close to the same, honestly. Like, they're still going to be led by Bruce Thornton, who last year, like, really, I thought ended up being much, much better than I expected. Especially, like, I remember Cody, you and I talking throughout the season, his off the dribble 3 game really took a leap last year. So I think they're still going to be fine. I don't know, like, maybe they have a better chance of getting into the tournament this year, just because like Thornton's another year older, and he's going to be probably one of the best players in the Big Ten. But yeah, I guess I'll say maybe a little bit better outcome wise.
Cody, do you think they've gotten better as well, or?
Yeah, I'd say they got better just because, I mean, the offensive skill sets across the board are better than last year. I mean, they obviously retaining Thornton, Mobley, and Devin Royal is huge, and they're going to be starting in the backcourt. I think Royal's probably going to play the 3, potentially next to Noel and Tilly as the front court. But obviously, I mean, I'm concerned about the defense. I just don't think Coach Diebler did like a fantastic job addressing their true front court needs. I mean, this is kind of what Chris Holtmann did during his time at Ohio State. Obviously, like, Diebler was an assistant there, just kind of, recruiting offensive talent and kind of hoping that it worked out defensively a little bit. I mean, they had other guys in the past, like EJ Liddell was like the ideal like front court player for Ohio State, a ton of offensive skill who can like provide like some two-way value, like even as a rim protector and rebounder. Like, that's the type of big that, that those Ohio State coaches were looking for, Diebler and Holtmann. But in the last couple of years, they've kind of just recruited more offensive-minded guys who sort of lack rebounding and rim protection. So, but yeah, they're super skilled, super talented on the offensive end, which is going to make them probably a top 15 to 20 offense in the entire country. But I am a little bit concerned about the defense. That could ultimately be the reason why they're a bubble team or even not in the tournament, just like last season. But something in there tells me that they're going to sneak into the tournament as like a 10, maybe 11 seed. Maybe if the defense works out, they can be a 6 or 7 seed this season.
Any final thoughts on these guys? It sounds like we're in agreement that they're probably about a bubble team, but Marcus, what are your final thoughts?
I I mean, I think Bruce Thornton's really good, and so I think that last year especially he figured out the college game, and so I think he's gonna take them as far as he can, and I think that they will ultimately get in the tournament this year, just because I think he's going to carry them. And I think John Mobley, will make shots, and Royal, right? What was the joke? Devin Royal on a Sunday. Devin Royal on a Sunday is lethal. So maybe he'll show up for some more Sunday games this year. But I think Ohio State does sneak in. Like Cody said, though, I think it's probably one of those like 8 to 11 seeds. But definitely see a world where they don't make it again.
Cody, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this team's going to be dangerous night in and night out. I think they can beat pretty much any team in the country, just because when they step on the floor, they're going to be just as talented as the other team, outside of like maybe the elite of the elites, like a Duke talent level. I don't think they're quite there, but I mean, they're super skilled on the offensive side. So if they're hot, they can beat pretty much anybody in the country. But like I said, the defense could ultimately hold them back, and it's probably going to hold them back from being like a Final Four dark horse or something like that. But it's going to be a really fun team to watch from a shot making perspective.
All right, that wraps it up for the Buckeyes. As always, thank you for listening to the Mainly Hoops podcast.